Okay. Gotta make a post about this.
Okay, I'm back.
Yo. Well, I posted. Looks like they're still in pregame.
Yeah, I figured it'd take a while. Oh god, warmfront. Yeah, they're not even close to being all in yet.
Yeah, what do we got? 7 people. I was watching what's his faces on stream earlier. They were scrimming. Well, I guess they're done now since they're like half in the server, but whatever.
Attention. 5 minutes left in the mission.
Seems like everyone's got a stream these days.
Left in the mission.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like suddenly a bunch of people stream TF2.
I was thinking one thing we could do would be to go over like what we're calling each location, but I don't think we really need it on warmfront.
No, it's like left side, right side.
It would have made more sense on Gully Watch, like choke, big door,
That's true.
etc.
Because not everybody calls out the same way.
Right. But you know, in the future,
If we do Snakewater, we'll have to, because there's like kitchen and like stuff like that. I played with, I think it was like Vector or some team I rang for, and they called, like, that lower, like the choke that the demo jumps through to get to mid, like the health pack, they call it Trendle. It's like, what the heck is
Trendle?
that? Yeah, I don't know why.
Trendle, okay.
I think we normally just called it like choke, and the other one was window room.
Just call everything, you know, the thingy.
Yeah, thingy. Jump
Remember
thingy.
the Yukon discussion we had about the ramps?
No.
We just called everything the ramp. There's like 3 of them, but we just called them all ramp.
Really?
Yeah. I was like calming, and I just couldn't contain my laughter. I was like, he's on the ramp, and I was just laughing because we were talking about it.
Is like they're all like 0.2 or something? Like I don't
Yeah, yeah, all those ramps at 2. And we ended up just calling them all the ramp.
Well, like normally you're in 2 so you can see like where they are. I guess it's kind of a useless call though. It's like he's at 2 somewhere lit, maybe. Man, we got 7 viewers. This is awesome.
Oh boy, we're making it big.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people watched the VOD of our cast, like 70 something, the previous one.
Your standards are too low. 70 people? That's like so low for like any other game. Or even like
Well, I mean,
even XTV.
compared to how many people actually watch the cast live,
That's
a
true.
lot.
They're missing
Whereas,
out
like-
though. It's so much more exciting when it's live.
He said 77, not 7.
Wow, I'm shortchanging us.
Man, now we got everybody coming in here. Let's do the 5-man cast.
I'll just yell randomly.
Yeah. You just need to scream when there's an air shot. Just start screaming. We'll be like the Korean showcast team. Air shot to Itan timing.
Give me camera work, I'll just like zoom in on like a soldier's face. But all you see is his face, you don't actually see what he's shooting. You just know when he dies.
Oh damn. That reminds me I actually have to like pay attention to the camera. I'm probably just gonna click around. Well, I actually wanted to try a bind.
Mission ends in 60 seconds.
Man, I just float around in third person.
Have you ever randomly my spectator like works correctly where I can hit 1 through 0 and it goes to players? But it doesn't always do that.
I was not even aware of that functionality.
I think it only works like if you're in the server or something, but not in Source TV. Like I don't understand it exactly, because I remember trying to use it and I was like, this doesn't work at all. But then some people got it working sometimes, so I don't know. I don't think I even have the bind set anymore.
My guess is probably like quick switch, or not quick switch, but like crosshair stuff probably fucks it up.
Mission ends in
Maybe.
10
I'm like
seconds.
typing it in chat, like slot 1, it's not working. Or in console.
4, 3, 2,
I'll just click.
You see my picture it's hanging.
Yeah. Or did
Just
you?
weird.
Yeah, that's
Like
kind of neat.
that's how it came up. Like it was in the corner of my desktop and I couldn't move it. It's like then I just like changed it from full screen and then back and it worked, but it's like so weird.
Well, that works a lot better than I would expect it to work.
Has Powell played in the previous matches for Mad Men?
Let me bust out the ESEA stats and find out. No, he hasn't. They're bringing out the big guns, or the backups. I'm not sure what the deal is.
The secret weapon.
Well, who's missing that usually plays?
Well,
Is our namely scouts?
yeah. RR is
Or
here.
Namely?
I thought Namely was just scrimming with them.
Namla is there.
Oh. Who's not here then? Soldier? They have
Oh,
no.
Defy or Panic? Wait, who's...
Blank and Born to Hula. I don't know who that is.
Pretty sure that's Defy.
Oh wait, Panic. is the other soldier.
Oh,
He's
right,
not
Panic.
even on the roster anymore.
Really? I thought he was just screaming with them. I was like just watching on stream.
Maybe he changed his name.
Maybe he's that other guy you just listed.
No,
See?
he's on a different team now. He's not on the roster.
Wow, get
What?
dunked.
Mad
He's on-
player transactions.
Yeah. Born to something is the 5. I think he was just there for the roster.
Yeah, he was there for like the 2-player thing.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is a roster or what.
That's like getting friend zoned, man. It's like, we want to play with you just so that we can get the roster.
Yeah, maybe that's why Panic was there too. I don't remember which roster this is though. Whatever one it was. But my guess is that Awa will scout with Family and RR will roam maybe?
Or they'll just like have Power snipe and have 2 scouts.
Yeah, because this map is stupid and you can snipe from anywhere.
Is Blank pocketing this season?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know RR and Namle both played pocket in the past.
Yeah, RR was actually a pretty good pocket. But he's also a pretty good scout.
I wish we could talk about these teams pregame, but I don't really know that much about either of them.
Well, second.
We need to bring Defiance and use our neighborhood IM expert.
I wrote one article a year ago, or months ago, whatever. They're actually kind of similar. Like, they have Blank and Rando, are both kind of like those power pockets. Take a lot of heals, but get a lot of kills. But I think Kapow and UNF are pretty different.
Well, it looks like they're going
undefeated
live.
this season, yeah?
Yeah, pretty sure.
And I think Madmen's like 5-1 or something like that right now.
I
Yeah,
remember they lost to Zen City because people were getting mad over that.
Yeah, they lost to Zen City. They beat Dead Hand 5-4. I think
Okay, so this match is live, so we'll have to keep an eye on the demo and see where they choose to roll out for this first round.
looks like Kapow going Cliff. I'm watching him right now. Umph also goes Cliff. And kind of a passive mid other than Technosex making all the aggression there while the rest of his team just walks up, and looks like between the damage he did from his rockets and the equalizer kill, that was enough for his team to clean things up.
But Power doing a good job there at the tail end of that mid-fight by taking out Trekkie. So they'll have a chance to defend last. 2 should go down quickly. They're already moving up to take it.
Yeah, Kapow is
Nice
pre-trained,
shot, nice
so they're gonna get this easily before Madmen can defend it. They could like maybe peek it because they do have Madmen switched to crits and Nos did a bunch of damage coming in, but I mean their medic's here before Rando's medic, so that's why they can get in like this, is they know they have buffs while the other team doesn't. So that's actually really well played from them.
I really like this by Madmen. The previous matches I've watched on this map, the invite teams were scared to try and take back 2 when the other team's medic wasn't back up yet, but Madmen finds that small window where they have buffs and the other team doesn't, and they exploit it nicely.
Yeah, and Nos now at 100% crits. Anf is with him. The combo's right there, so there's an air shot crit pipe to start that off. And here comes a long-range crit stingy. Doesn't quite connect, but Rando's team forced to get the heck out of there.
There's a back cap
and,
going on.
Whoa, huge back cap.
Both scouts got behind. One's already heading to last, I believe.
And the cap actually barely goes down before Madman can stop it. So Laronic's now on last, and he wins the stack. So despite that aggressive crits push from Madmen, I guess they didn't watch their left side.
Yeah, that was pretty poor by Madmen. They were all up on the cliff. So absolutely nobody was watching the opposite side, and both scouts got behind them.
So now we're rolling out to another mid here. Let me find a demo man to watch. Looks like they're both opting to do cliff again. We'll see. Powa gets taken out early from spam Pow and Laronix, but a lot of damage going down onto Pow, so he has to play back. He actually goes down. Lots of damage on both teams, but Umph still alive is probably going to make the difference in this fight, I believe.
Yeah, they take out Trekkie, and all that's left is to clean up without losing their own medic in the process. But Rando doing a nice job taking out Nosferatu to once again give them a chance to defend last. Though I think they can defend 2 here. This isn't quite as much of a role as the previous mid.
Yeah. And actually, this goes in the other direction, because Rando won the first mid, and now Madman won, so fairly even game, actually. Actually, what the... Okay, Madman was just keeping the door open for Powa to come back and switch to
Is
Sniper.
Nosferatu on crits here?
No,
Or it's just...
they just
so
waited a
Soa's
bit.
just doing a poor job building their Uber, because they were definitely ahead.
Yeah, and there's Powa with the headshot, cross-map, cliff to 2 onto Rando, so that's going to make it easy for Madman to just push in here.
Yeah, let's see if they try to go before they get their Uber up and just try to muscle their way in, or if they just want to take it slowly and take some ground.
Looks like they're just wandering around getting some frags, catching Laronix out there, and another shot from Powa killing S. That's going to be a really easy 2 for Madmen, and now they're gonna. Looks like they're just going to take it into last while they're 6v4, or maybe not. Maybe they're going to wait for another headshot.
I think
Oh my goodness!
they're showing an enormous amount of patience, more than most of the invite teams I've
Yeah.
watched on this map.
Power opened it up for them by killing Laronix there, so now the push starts, and pretty much they just need a little bit more damage from their sniper, and that's going to probably win them this push. They kill Technosex, so looking good on this push, I think. A lot of frags coming back from Rando's team, and Rando picking up the kill onto Nos. Trekkie goes down to Namlay, I guess, and that's going to allow Rando's team to push back out, but
Control point is being captured.
their
it
health is
seemed
pretty
like-
low.
It seemed like So just stayed really tight there, whereas Madmen didn't seem to focus quite as much. I guess maybe they felt like they had the numbers advantage and thought they'd already won that push and relaxed a little bit, but So did a nice job sticking together and taking out targets one by one.
Yeah, it was a little weird because they lost the first 2 kills on that push, and then they didn't. They still managed to hold, so impressively done by them.
And while we're at this situation where nothing's happening, I want to talk about that previous push Madmen did. They didn't just go in there with their Ubers like you've seen a lot of teams do. You know, they just immediately pop in as soon as they get some sort of advantage. But they realized that So would be playing slightly more passive due to being down 1 man, and they just walked in and took all the ground that was given to them without feeling the need to actually Uber in.
Yeah, there's the Uber push coming in from Mad, but they just barely don't manage to pick up Trekkie with it, thanks to some nice defense from S. And now the Uber comes back out from Rando, but they don't manage to find any frags with it. All they do is retake their point area. And actually, Umph dies to Technosex, and Kapow picks up RR, so maybe Rando going to make a move on mid here.
Our control point is being captured.
And
Yeah, they know where both scouts are, so they're not worried about a back cap right now.
Yeah, I think they did a better job of, well, okay, it was Madmen that got back cap before, but Rando did a good job of splitting up, and like both sides were covered, so they would at least know if both scouts are trying to rush a side, so that was a safe, nice retake on mid. Ubers are even, but we're seeing Rando move up ahead to take yard here. One thing I'll note on this map is like nobody holds this yard because it's way too easy to get jumped on in here. It's kind of unfortunate because other like Granary and stuff, Badlands, you see all this action in yard, but people always just give it up on this map because it's you just get jumped and then you die. And this is a really awful
And this
Uber.
was a miscommunication, I'm sure, because there didn't seem to be any reason to pop there.
Yeah, but Blank was.
But Umph going down, Umph not getting flashed, this should allow So to just spam back with their demo men and push them out at this point.
Yeah, although Blank manages to pick up Kapow with some spam, now it's just 3v3, both scouts left for Rando and the pocket, or Soldier and Scout left for Madman. It looks like the focus not very good from Rando. They're trying to dive onto Nos, but not really getting any damage on him, so both scouts are dead, and Trekkie just booking it out of there. Looks like he'll be fine, but huge Uber advantage for Madman. No buffs onto Rando until Trekkie manages to get back with his team, so Madman making a move onto mid.
Let's see if we get a bomb here to force this Uber from Nosferatu, or if they're just willing to give it up and wait to get their own Uber out.
Technosex makes it to the roof, but he doesn't get onto the medic. He gets one rocket, but gets picked off by the demo and scouts.
I feel like if you're going to make a play like that, you have to go all in and just, go straight on the medic instead of trying to hold a position like roof, because, he wasn't really going to get anything accomplished spamming down from the roof.
Yeah.
This is a full team.
Maybe he felt like he had some more team support there and it wasn't just a solo bomb. I wasn't watching anybody else, so I'm not sure. Anyways, we have both Ubers exchanging now. Umph taking the majority of this one. Rando looking for some frags off to the side, and he finds Blank, so that's kind of a big deal. And now he's shutting on Umph, but R is there to help out, so Rando now in trouble.
That was just bad positioning by Madman, I think. They exchanged the Ubers, but then they had other people in the area that could take damage from Rando. And that's exactly the opposite of what you want to happen when you have an offensive Uber. You want to be in position to threaten multiple players while not allowing the other team to get any damage on your Uber pocket.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't see what opened that Uber, but for some reason Umph was taking the full duration of it rather than the pocket, and that makes it a lot harder to force the other team to splash, and it makes it a lot harder to walk past them and do damage quickly, like a soldier can. That's the one thing a soldier has on a demo is they're better at taking Ubers at close range. So now we actually have Madman pushing back out onto mid with like 5% Uber advantage. I'm not sure if this is going to work actually, but maybe they're just looking to pop and then re-push in. Their demo does have position on cliff, but it doesn't.
Perhaps they noticed that the opposite. Wait, Madman pushed that?
Yeah.
The sniper. I don't like that decision.
Wait, they have a sniper as well?
Yes.
Why are they switching when they have a sniper?
I don't understand why they would take that Uber in when they have a sniper. Either if your plan is to take in the Uber, you need to have those scouts there.
Yeah, I wasn't paying enough attention to the spawns. I'm not sure if they had a little numbers advantage and maybe weren't aware that they had a sniper on from their caller. I don't know. But yeah, the push doesn't work out, but they managed to pick up a few frags, which is going to save their 2, but I expect the pressure from Rando to be coming in pretty quickly here, because we see Trekkie at a 60% advantage. Nos just managed to get with his team at 2, so Madman look like they're going to lose 2 here, I would believe.
It's hard to tell what's going to happen. I really felt like they should have lost that push when they Ubered in without an advantage while having a sniper, but
well, they did lose it in the sense that they have the Uber disadvantage now. They lost Nos on it. Now they're just getting pushed out. Like the Uber chasing them out to last. I don't think it should go too much farther than it already has. No, indeed, they're just zoning for their team. So
they do have one pick. I would have liked to see them take this in quickly before.
Well, here they go. It looks like they're committing. The pocket's in, but they're just dying now. So they should just back up and keep their medic. They lost 2 people. They just need to back up and keep people alive. Otherwise, they're going to lose 2. They lost their demo, so now Madman can already push. So overextension there, unfortunately. Like, it was a good play to go in, but as soon as they lost those first 2 people, they should have just pieced the heck out of there.
Yeah, that's right. As long as you keep your demo men up, it's so hard to push back from 2 to 1 on just about any map, but especially this, where there's so many small chokes that are easy to stick you up.
Oh, and the Uber catching Rando's team there, stuck right near to the doors, so they kill both soldiers and the medic with that Uber, so really rough situation for Rando here, and they're even getting their scouts picked off, so unless they get some kind of back cap, they're going to lose mid as well, I'm pretty sure.
Perhaps they were trying to bait the Madmen to follow them into mid so that the scout could back cap, because I did see a slight back cap come up after that combo died.
Maybe, but the combo was dying like right outside the door, so they just turned back around and swatted that scout down.
Perhaps a miscalculation.
Yeah, I guess so. I think they just didn't understand how far forward Trekkie was with that charge.
And seems like our law of hugeness is in effect here. One medic is out of position, and then the other medic returns the favor by getting caught out for no reason.
Yeah, so Madmen kind of reeling here after losing their medic onto that attempted mid. So Rando now, it looks like they're going to take 4, and they have the full Uber for last. So unless Powa can nail some headshots as people enter, or nice force on
Blank
Trekkie.
forces it. Nice job by him.
So looks like they're going to take this. They're going to take it in with the little bit of Uber they have through the doors, and then see what they can do. S taking out RR. So both soldiers down for Madmen. Power has to switch back to Scout because everybody's in there, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out in time to do anything. And indeed, Rando managed to take another round down.
I think that was a very good decision. They just flashed everybody into that door to make sure no one died to any sticky traps, and they got position on last while still having the numbers advantage. So they didn't really need the rest of that Uber to seal the deal.
Yeah, it was just well played because the pocket was down, forcing them, and then they managed to pick up one more frag with the very tail end of the Uber as they cleared the doors. So, well played from Rando on that push. Technosex gets like completely, totally shut down that mid. So, I don't think Rando's going to have any kind of forward momentum, and they're just going to back up with their demo and medic.
Yeah, that looks good. That looks good for So's team because they got Technosex on their entire group coming out of one door. Yet, perhaps Technosex was there a little bit too early as there was no follow-up.
Yeah, they were able to focus him. Like I think the demo put 2 sticks on him, and then he just went down without having done too much damage, and a bit before the rest of his team could get into position. There was a bomb on the transition onto Trekkie, but it didn't manage to get anything, so we just have even Ubers sitting on 2.
So finally we have a mid where a medic doesn't die.
Whoa, what is this? At least it's better than Granary. I don't think medics ever live Granary mid. It's just a myth if they do.
So again, as we see, they just give up yard entirely, which is the smart choice, because you really cannot hold them there.
Yeah. Basically what happens is you like sit your soldier on the cliff and the medic stands low ground, and then somebody just bombs in. It's like right on your face, and it's the worst. So we have the Uber coming in from the left side from Madmen. Kind of a weak Uber actually out of Trekkie, with Rando taking a lot of damage there and not finding any frags. So good Uber exchange for Madmen is gonna potentially win them this round as they kill a whole ton of people. We've got almost everybody on spawn. Only Laronic's still alive.
This should be a very easy last cap.
Yeah, they're coming in. They're sticky jumping towards the point. There's no way. And Madmen takes away their first round after kind of flubbing that last one with that overextension from their medic on that push onto mid, but showing that they're in this game to play, and rolling out to another mid here.
This should be an exciting game. Hopefully it doesn't go so long that you have to leave for your other cast.
Yeah, well, that's an invite match, so it won't start till like 20 minutes after anyways. It's cool, and I still have half an hour till it's scheduled, so no problem. Wait, Seaver is messaging me. Uh-oh. Anyways, we have mid here. I'm staying safe and putting out a lot of damage, but the first frags go down onto Madmen, and they're going to have to back up.
Yeah, no real aggression out of either team with their soldiers, and from what I've seen of Kapow, he seems to win almost all these mid exchanges when there's no soldier aggression involved. So, very nice demoman work by him.
Unfortunately, Rando jumps a bit too far forward, trying to chase onto this staggering Madmen team, and he goes down. But you know, all we have is an Uber that stares at each other because there's demo man and nothing happens. But Kapow picking up a bunch of frags, people trying to dive on the combo, but now they're chasing down onto the surviving members of Rando. Trekkie's booking it out of there, but I think this is just going to reset because the spawns from Rando should be too much of a threat for Madmen to actually take mid here. But looks like they're going to commit to it, so we're going to see what's going to happen. Apparently
and
not
Rando
much.
making that attempt probably means that they can't hold this. I guess it was a good idea. He felt that Nosferatu was out of position, but he couldn't quite execute on that.
Yeah, here comes another soldier, Technosex, trying to make some stuff happen, and he does enough damage to set them up for Kapow and S to get a few frags, but now...
Let's see if Trek can get this Uber.
Oh, he needs to get it. He's 98! And he doesn't have an Uber saw, otherwise... Oh my god! If he had an Uber saw, he would have had Uber. He was 98 and he got
That's
hit.
Unfortunate.
What is that thing even? It's like a signpost?
It's a sign you can write custom stuff on.
Wow.
TF2.
So Trekkie going for the humor over the functionality and possibly loses his team this point.
Well, look at this way. If he had like got that Uber saw hit, he could have switched back and popped if he had popped immediately, but he did die to a rocket right after, so he might have dropped if he had it. So, you know, stats-wise, he's keeping himself in the game. He's got the sign kills, he doesn't have the Uber drops, it's okay. But no, seriously, use the Uber saw. What are you doing, man?
I'm assuming he switched to it just as soon as he was respawning.
Did he?
I would hope so.
I don't know, man.
So let's see if Madman can use his Uber advantage. Maybe we'll see another one of those good patient pushes where they don't actually pop and just muscle the other team out. But no, they catch Trekkie massively out of position. Perhaps they weren't quite watching that far left side.
Yeah, I don't think they saw the medic coming in there, the double scout Uber coming out of the side. Normally that doesn't work too well if it's planned out, but I mean there's nobody to juggle the scouts, so they just got to run in, and now Rando's team getting elaborated on, as one might say. It looks, I don't know, they might get the spawns to hold this, but it looks pretty bad.
We've seen them
at
in this position before and they've held it, but not this time.
Yeah, the cap was just a little too quick. I mean, you saw the soldier from Rando jumping in at the end of that, but not quite in time with the combo of Madman on point. So now we have a tie game 2-2. I'm just going to message Cedar back while we roll it to mid.
Let him know he's not wanted. So the demo men both electing to roll out Cliff as usual. Kapow is already quite lit. Let's see if this affects this mid fight. Both team soldiers not really choosing to get too aggressive. The most they're doing is jumping on the roof, but it seemed like Blank got off quite a good jump there and put enough damage for his team to follow up and push the rest of So out of that midpoint. So this mid, Trekkie's staying alive. Nice job by him. From what I've seen from the medics, Trekkie is doing a slightly better job positioning himself to not die.
Yeah, unfortunately, as an doesn't have an Uber saw, but you know, whatever. Whatever, you can't have everything. Are they holding yard? Am I crazy?
I think they just want to get some entry spam and back out. I can't quite see them committing to this, and they've already backed out.
It's cool. I was gonna like, I was so ready for that soldier to just bomb there.
Perhaps they were baiting for these sticky traps that Kapow put up, you know.
Yeah, I think they were maybe just going out to cover him
course.
so you could set them up better. I don't know. Just a little exchange of spam here. Demo Man Uber coming in from Madman. I hate Demo Man Ubers a lot.
Well, this time they managed to keep everybody else out of it.
Yeah, but okay, Rando might be getting overextended here. You might have got baited in by that.
Rando got slightly baited, but the scout's coming in with the cleanup, so it remains about even. And Technosets did a nice jump to take out Nosferatu, but
now just he's setting up sticks and he has some time on the point, so it's now just Laronix versus has some sticks set up. Here comes Laronix. Misses the dead on him. He managed to jump around that sticky, so he saves the point. Good job by him.
He ran right over his stickies.
He just ran right over them. Oh my god. So we're reset. Same situation. This cap time on 2 is going to fall off. I don't think Rando's going to move out, because if they move now, they're really easy to back cap, and it's not like they have any advantage anyways. They'd be fighting into the spawn thingy-mabob, so just another hold on 2. I'd be interested to see if Madman opts for that Demo Man Uber again. Like, as I said, I hate Demo Man Ubers on this point, because you can't...
That did seem to be their Uber plan of choice. I think that's the second time we've seen them just take a solo Uber on but it hasn't really worked for them either time that they've tried it. Let's see if they mix it up.
Yeah.
I really
So,
like that last Uber where they Ubered in a scout just to pick up kills on the flank.
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I
worked
feel
well
like that
because
was
they had
due to them
advantage.
not watching that side, though. You know, that probably shouldn't have worked as well as it did.
Yeah. Because if they had known they were there, then Trekkie could have just backed out. Well, they're doing it again.
Opt for that same push.
But the other team
That
has Uber
double
this
scout
time. I
Uber.
mean, they pick up Technosex. Actually, Power picks up Kapow as well, so that's going to be a huge deal. Rando is going to need to make something happen with this Uber if they want to hold, but the
They
flank
dropped
is crumbling.
somebody. They dropped yet another person during that Uber. I really don't like that. That idea of holding your Uber while letting people drop.
Yeah, I mean, Technosex dying there is understandable in the sense like an Uber Scout running right into your roamer. You don't really have time to react, but Kapow dying as well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, even if it's just a Scout in his face, you have to save your demo. Now Kapow back up, manages to get some kills on the door, but Madman is...
Kapow got picked trying to get back into spawn.
Yeah, now they're coming in hot. It's just Technosex left alive, and I don't think he's going to be able to make any kind of play here. There's way too many people in here for Madman, and that's going to be half, with Madman making a nice comeback, going down 2-0, and then 3 rounds in a row to take it to 3-2 at half. Anyways, we were saying we didn't really like that Scout Uber in the side, because this time they didn't see it in time again, because all that you need to do is get away from it with everybody but your combo. You know, have your medic close enough to save people from the Scouts that are coming in, and you know, that's that. Then you have your heavy classes Ubered, and well, the buffs are deteriorating on their heavies because they don't have any flashes. But it worked because of Powa just running behind and getting the kill on Kapow. I think the better play from Rando on that one. Wait, yes, it was Rando. Okay, better play from Rando there would have just been like keep everybody as close to the medic as they can once they see the Scout Uber, and then he can just save you all, and then you just DM because you have buffs on your heavies, and they no longer have buffs because they didn't get any of the Uber.
Right. I feel like it just worked due to a mispositioning. I mean, nobody was watching this left hallway, and yet the demoman still wasn't with the medic. Like, I don't really know what was going on there. Perhaps they haven't quite scrimmed enough to work out where they want everybody to be holding when they're defending to.
Well, I think like Rando and Trekkie were top right, and whatchamacallit, Kapow backed up. He like the place he died was in that door on the right side, the defender's perspective, going towards last. So, like he was just backing up basically, rather than staying with the medic. And maybe that was the call. I don't know. Like, get out of this. We want to just take the Uber on a single soldier. But I mean, the entire danger of a Scout Uber is the fact that the Scouts can be anywhere, and the last thing you want is to have your demo man 1v1ing a Scout.
Right. And, this door is quite small. If you can just catch them as they're coming through that hallway, you can just prevent them from getting in just by putting some rockets and stickies on that.
Yeah. But I have to, give it to Madman. They've clearly scrimmed this to the point where they have some very specific pushes planned out. Because a lot of times you just see teams playing with, single soldier Ubers coming in all the time. The flanks always clean up, etc., etc. And I think that's, a pretty good way to play. And obviously, you can scrim a lot and still play that way and still be pretty effective because there are reasons it's good. But they've worked out some very specific pushes onto this 4 with the Demo Man Uber, the Scout Ubers. So interesting to see the results of, some new ideas coming into it.
Right, and I've liked Madman's decision making for the most part. They did a nice job retaking 2 when they had just a medic buff advantage, not even a numbers advantage, but just a mere buff advantage, as well as their patience attacking without feeling the need to pop immediately upon entry and just taking ground for free. But So is doing a nice job keeping this close despite all the nice play from Madman.
Yeah, the thing I worry about for them is, they took the first 2 rounds, but now they're starting to lose ground. Like, they just lost 3 in a row. They need to change something to get back into this game. Otherwise, it's going to keep going and be 5-2.
So here comes the second half. They're all ready to...
Alright, cool. We're now up to like a record 30 viewers. Oh my goodness, thank you all for
Wow.
watching. You are good people.
We have tripled our previous record.
Yes.
So the demo men have been favoring this cliff rollout. Let's see if they both stay with that. And Kapow seems to have been getting the better of Ump in most of these mid-fights.
Yeah, he manages to lead some early sticky damage onto Namle, so good job from him. Although now taking a lot of damage from the scouts, demo, and soldier spam from Proof, but he dies, but at the cost of pretty much everybody from Madman, apparently.
Yeah, I feel like that early damage from Kapow didn't allow Madman to follow up on that soldier aggression. So you saw the soldiers go in and die while the rest of the team really didn't take position off that. And, you know, that allowed So to focus a little bit better and ultimately win that mid.
Yeah, the other thing I'll point out is that they got Kapow kind of low, like down to 40 health or something like that, with a rocket and one sticky from Umph. But then the scouts were shooting at him across the map because he was so lit, and they took like, I don't know, a combined total of maybe 7 or 8 shots to kill him, and they killed him. But like, that's a lot of shots from your scouts that could be meat shots. Here comes that scout Uber in again from the side. They have to pop through the door because it's sticky. I don't know if they're going to find any frags.
I don't like that blind pop. I feel like they should have confirmed the location of the combo first, because they could have just
yeah, the combo's like not even there.
Way and taking that point without popping.
It's like an NG at last. Like, I don't know. Anyways, Nos looks like he was pretty close to getting it. So I mean, now we're just gonna wait for Rando's team to build Uber, and then
yeah, I feel like they don't have any intention of pushing back for that sniper and NG.
yeah. Or if they do have intentions, they're misguided, because unless Power gets a kill, okay, he switches to Scout. I think it's just because he was seen as Sniper, probably. He just wants to be a different class. Yeah, I guess we're just waiting for the Uber. Okay, Pow's sniping again, just to deny that left side from the looks of it. We'll see how Rando opts to take this push. You were commenting on how Madman was really patient with it, but I mean, we have no pick classes from, whatchamacallit, Rando's team.
Right, and they don't seem to be showing any signs of going for a suicide here, but okay, there goes Laronix. Laronix is known as a good sniper, but let's see if Madman will try to push, because this is one of the things we like to do, is when we know somebody's suiciding to go sniper, we know that we have a 65 initially, and then, you know, what's an effective 65, unless that sniper hits like a really nice shot.
Yeah,
so
because
that's a really nice time to push back.
Yeah, because he comes back so much slower than a scout, and then he's effectively useless in the push. Anyways, he opted to come back as spy, and no pressure coming from Madman. Maybe just because they're up, they want to drag it out a bit, or maybe they're just... It is a tough push, even if it's 65, it's a tough push, so, you know.
Well, I feel like if the attacking team has enough patience, you're just going to lose this point eventually. You know, unless you can somehow defend for enough pushes for 10 minutes. If they just go down that one utility class, it's very impossible. It's very hard to push back into 2 with just that.
Yeah. By far, I prefer to actually, okay, looks like Laronix just going to uncloak on the point, get some cap time on it, and the push comes in right as they're turning, so nice coordination there, actually, from Rando's team. I don't know if it's going to be enough to win the point, but I commend it, because every heavy turn from the doors, and then they came in the doors right then. Huge pressure on the point, actually gets it. Oh my god, that was so cool.
Yeah, he just jumped on the point and juggled the demo man away, so... I like that idea, that push, just to distract everything with the spy. You know, basically your Uber is a tool to get through that door without getting sort of molested by rockets and stickies, but instead they opted to use the spy to accomplish that same effect.
Yeah, so well done by them. And I mean, they didn't even win the fight, 'cause it was like 5v6 effectively with the spy dead, but it didn't matter because they got so much cap time. They just juggled people off the point, so that was a very cool take at that point.
So Technosis did the sort of around the world roamer play where he jumped along that right side and then went all the way behind to jump on Nosferatu. And considering both teams were playing passive, the loss of that medic meant that So could just clean them up.
Yeah, typically the way a mid normally goes, if you kill the medic first and nothing else, is you'll lose it because the other team can just run into you and kill your fragging classes because they have 5 fragging classes still and you lost your roamer doing it, so you only have 4. But if it takes longer than, about 6 to 8 seconds for that fight to happen, then the amount of health your medic gets back to your fragging classes makes up the difference.
Right, and Madman, since it was so passive, Madman wasn't in any position to get aggressive on So immediately. So is a little bit slow on this push. If they don't take this in, Madman are going to get Uber. Let's see if they're opting for that scout push again.
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're going to do. Power hits a headshot onto the Ronix point blank, but he was buffed and now he's got the Uber, so they're just going to run in. RR, he's screwed here.
Let's see if these scouts get enough picks to allow them to push back in the last. But Trekkie, I feel like a little bit slow on that Uber.
Alert. Our last control point is being captured.
Yeah, it's like, Madmen are, I think they're just not used to dealing with this scout thing, because they lost that point despite the fact that they had charge. So, they just need to not be as spread out. When they figure out it's that scout play, they just need to bunch up a little bit more, and then, keep the flashes around so they all live. But they have people spread off to the side, and they're dying because their team gets shattered by the scout Uber. Now we have Leronix going spy again, so let's see if it's the same play. It's even Ubers, and it worked really well last time, so maybe he's just going to look for an opportunity to stab the medic. If he doesn't see it, he'll just go for the step on point and let everybody run in deal.
And Madman is coming in. Let's see. Oh, and it was crits. No wonder the Ubers were slightly. I thought they figured that they were ahead, but they were actually even considering it was crits. But a scout got behind.
Yeah, that was the Ronix on spy actually doing the back cap.
Oh, the spy play.
So, Rando was critting there?
Yeah, Rando was critting, and then they brought in the Uber. But I mean, I don't think they could have expected that. I don't understand what the thinking was bringing that Uber in, considering if it wasn't crits, they still would have been, 20% ahead at best.
Huh. It's interesting. Okay, we have they did a huge amount of damage. Madman soldiers took so much damage there, eating a stick and a rocket from Rando en route with both of them, so that's pretty much that. There's no way they can win mid after taking that much damage.
Yeah, I feel like if there's any soldier getting aggressive at mid, it's Technosex, and I feel like that's what's really keeping So in this game. They're able to win those mids just off that aggression.
Yeah. Kind of weird. Madman had all those pushes planned for 2, but then making a decision like jumping both your soldiers into the same location of roof just seems like a terrible idea. You're both gonna eat the same spam. If you have a really planned out push, then what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep people spread out so that if a stick hits, it only hits one person.
Right, and that could be because they just shifted RR to Soldier for this match with Power playing.
Oh, that's true, that's true. We were talking before about how Power hadn't played with them before. We have the Uber coming in from Rando's team. It looked like it wasn't going to work, but then it worked because the demo managed to live on point, and that's actually game. So, forget what I was saying at half with Madman taking those 3 rounds in a row. Rando makes it look easy, so well done from them.
Yeah, and they did it with some nice pushes. They looked like they weren't doing well, but the reason why they were dropping people on those pushes were because Madmen weren't prioritizing the point a lot, and they took advantage of that by just getting cap time and managing to eventually get the point while still being at a numbers disadvantage.
Yeah, kind of almost like Badlands-esque. I mean, it caps a lot slower, but Badlands, it's so hard to win the fight because they have the spawn right there. You just cap the point, and that's that. And they're kind of playing the same way. They're putting a ton of pressure on point. It's just playing it like a bit of a bigger Badlands. Kind of interesting. Let me see what's going on with this other match, if there's a server up.
So I'm assuming we're going to lose you to this other cast.
Yeah. I don't know if we have a third, though, so maybe you can just come over. Let me ask Seabear. We might have one, but he's not responding. So you may as well come over to the other mumble, and then you can cast if,
Alright. I guess we put up some closing thoughts on that match. I like that pretty much both teams did a lot of things that were unique. And we don't quite see that enough. I know you talked about on NATF2 about how teams hold behind the point just because I guess previous teams have done that and they're just copying them.
yeah. But this was, it made me much happier to see this, because the holds I liked so much more. They were more thought out. Although,
I feel like both these teams have, they could be invite teams next season because I saw a lot of things that even invite teams didn't do. A lot of good patience coming out of Madmen, as well as interesting Ubers coming out of Rando.
yeah, I kind of feel like Madmen practiced for this map more. Like, they had the really specific plays going. But Rando just made some nice plays overall. Like that thing we saw in the first round where they just took their 2 back off the buff advantage because they knew the medic couldn't be there in time because they were watching the spawns. So they pulled things like that. I mean, the spy play was pretty cool. The way they used it to get in the doors for free was cool. And the only thing I can really fault Madmen on majorly is, like, other than a few, like, I didn't like the demo Uber too much pushing 2, but on a couple of those lasts, they could have pressured more. Like when the Ronix suicided, they could have pressured too. They might have just fallen to a spy back cap like they did in the last round. I don't know, but I do like to see, like, when you get 1 kill, if you're doing one of those holds where you're close to the doors, which is of course my favorite kind of hold, then you can just like peek out with your pocket a bit, and as long as you don't eat a full sticky trap on your pocket, you're not gonna die, and you can look for an opportunity to push your way in, because the other team, either they're going to trade Uber with you, or you're going to find somebody to kill, or they're just not going to be there and you can move a bit more forward. It's like an attempt to retake 2, because, so remember, the point of holding last is not to hold last for as long as possible before you lose the round. The point is to try to retake 2 at some point, so I like to see actions that work to that effect.
Right, and it was a bit puzzling for their refusal to move out, and then just to see, in a short while later, they try to move out with what would have been a 20% Uber advantage or so, and ended up getting back capped. So, sort of puzzling why they didn't try to push out earlier and then elected to go ahead with it at a time when they really shouldn't have been.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna turn off this stream, and then we can hop mumbles.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see if they want me casting.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyways, you can at least hang out and call people bad and whisper or something.
Wow. So, thanks to our viewers, apparently we had a large amount.
Yeah, man, we got to like 35 at one point. I was watching it on the other monitor. It's like crazy.
We'll definitely try to do more of these when Sigma is not being stolen away by EXTV.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'm swapping rumbles.